I've never borrowed money for my business.
Unfortunately, it's inevitable. I believe borrow money to grow because you start dealing with more corporate clients and they may not pay you on 7 days. They may pay you on 30 days.
I have very firm rules about this. I take full payment before I show up. So if you take 30 days to pay me, but the shoot's in 7 days, I'm not going to be there. So everyone is going to pay me before I show up. Whether your accountant or your finance team is too slow or whatever, you should have booked earlier. You have to pay me in full before I show up.
That's a good rule. Don't break that for anyone.
I'm not going to.
I love that, but like love that. What trends are you seeing in the industry at the moment? Because they're always changing.
In the industry of branding in general, in the industry of creating content for business, the trends that are coming up are really sharing a lot of educational content about what you do. The trend in doing that is setting up in a professional studio, having a professional shoot it for you, because anyone can do it with an iPhone. But your business and the way that I perceive your business, if you've shot your content in a professional setting with a professional, I look to you as, quite frankly, you have enough money to invest in your business, therefore your business must be doing well, therefore you must be a trusted business by other people.
How do you go about working with your clients when they want to go this direction, but you know we should be going this way? What do you see coming out of your work with people that you work with? For everyone that doesn't know, obviously I'm Tavis. This is Emma, Veness. Recently, you have a wedding date.
Yes.
I just want to introduce you to our people who are just
With my wedding date?
with your wedding date and who you are. And like, I've wanted to get you on this podcast for a while. And, you know, obviously, you know, we met up last year and, you know, I wanted to, you know, get you on straight away and we decided to go from there. But obviously, media is changing, social media is changing, AI is changing.
Yeah, that's a good question.
How is your business evolving to meet this new age of media, influence?
Let's talk about AI. I find AI very interesting, especially in my industry, because I'm seeing a lot of people generating photos of themselves in their suits or their business outfits to use for their marketing.
The AI photo. And you can tell they're AI.
You can. And so you shouldn't be using them.
I don't know why people think they're any good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's fun. Here's one thing that I enjoy about generating an AI image is to see myself. I use it kind of as like a manifestation technique. I'll like put into ChatGPT, I'll say, generate an image of me in southern Spain taking photos of Porsche in like the countryside.
Yep.
And so it will show me the version of me that I want to be, and I can get a visual on it because I am a very visual person. So in order to kind of reach my goals, I find it very helpful to be able to see it. So I'm really enjoying generating pictures so that I can see it. And then I don't doubt that I'll actually take that picture when I'm there, when it happens. Hang on.
That time of year. Summer is over, people, if you're watching this. We had our 5 weeks. When we've obviously had lots of conversations prior to this podcast. What do you believe is the key to growing your business? Because no disrespect to your industry or James's industry, but there seems to be, I'm getting constant DMs, emails, LinkedIn emails about people being the next videographer, the next video editor.
Oh, I get lots of editors contacting me.
You know, and at the end of the day, I just see you always booked and growing. And I believe your business is so popular because you're so invested in you in the business. So I actually see you say no to a lot of work and being selective in who you work with.
Yes. It's very, for me, growing my business was about niching in at one point. Everyone always tells you to niche in. And I did that. I niched into several niches at different times. So I was a empowerment photographer to start with.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. What the fuck is an empowerment photographer?
Yeah. So empowerment was, I was only working with women, and I was working with women who wanted to have a photo shoot experience, whether that was, it was kind of more of like a divine feminine goddess kind of experience, and would take photos of them to see themselves in their most beautiful feminine kind of form. So we would shape a shoot around them wanting to express that side of themselves. So it was very powerful, very beautiful. And we'd do like sunset shoots and shoots in the studio, whatever it was. I niched into that. That was really great because that helped me build that very personable approach to photography, because I had to be, because these women, they had to feel safe in front of me to express themselves. So now I take that kind of process into every photo shoot, just subconsciously almost. I just make sure everyone feels comfortable and safe. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman now. It's just like the way I am, the way that I speak, the way that I provide the customer experience from start to finish. I just make sure they feel safe and ready and comfortable.
The reason why I call myself the accidental podcaster is I literally fell into podcasting because of this man over here. How do you work with your clients? Because I feel that a lot of clients know that they need to work with you, but they're so self-conscious. They're so worried about how they look.
This is a good question.
I've been known to ask one or two good questions. And thank you. How do you make your guests understand that what you do with them is really important for their careers, their image, their thing, but then also understand that they have to be them as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a big part of that comes into how I market myself on Instagram, but it also comes from me leading by example too, and how I market myself and how I show up in my business. Because your personal brand is what is going to set you apart. And I think when somebody is ready to book a photo shoot with me, they know that, and they're ready to step into that because they've seen me do that on my own page, and they've seen me talk about the importance of that for them. And so when they come into the photo shoot, they're ready to be seen as themselves. They're ready to be authentic, and they're ready to take photos that don't copy what someone else did. They're ready to do their own thing. And that's so important, because if you're going into a photo shoot expecting to look like someone else, it's just not going to hit for your audience or for you, because you won't be seeing yourself as you.
What type of photos helps people grow their brand? Or what sort of video shoots or what sort of work do you think business people, managers, owners, what sort of stuff should they be doing?
No matter what kind of business you own, no matter what kind of industry you're in, I think it's very powerful in this day and age, going back to AI, where everything is so questioned and so easily repeatable and so fake almost. It's so important that you're putting yourself out there. So the kind of content that I would recommend a business owner or leader, or even a director, manager, whoever it is, the kind of content that I'd recommend they be putting out there is talking about their story, but not just their story, because you don't want the sob story. You want your story and how that relates to your industry and your experience and where you're at now. So it's really important to educate your audience as to why you're the best or why your business is the best. And you can do that by sharing your humanness and your human story with that. So videos about that, photos that show you as the leader that you are, not just playing small. You want photos that kind of step you out of your comfort zone a little bit so that you can see yourself at that next level as well.
Oh, yeah. Good answer. How should people dress in photos? Like, should they be themselves, not themselves, take tips?
When you're planning a branding photo shoot or any kind of video shoot, or even showing up to a podcast like this, even going to a networking event, it's really important that you first nail into who is your target market and then dress to be the person that they're looking for. So for me, previously, going back to my niching down, I was an empowerment photographer and then I was a fitness photographer. When I was a fitness photographer, I wore activewear to photo shoots. And then I opened up my business and just said, I want to shoot with everyone, men, women, business owners, service businesses, whatever. I want to work with businesses in general, not just one industry. And so I needed to change the way that I dressed. For example, instead of showing up to shoots in activewear, which is not professional if I'm coming into a corporate space, I now dress in nicer trousers. I focus on looking an elevated, more poised, beautiful version of myself because that's what that client needs.
Do you think this also directly things from when you've gone from a small sole trader as yourself and now you're coming back into the market as a media company? Do you think that when you started your business, I want to only supply these niches, but now you're opening, you say opening to a wider audience. Do you feel now that you understand yourself better? So it doesn't really matter what industry you work in. It could be construction, it could be fitness, it could be funds management, superannuation, whatever. It doesn't really matter because you bring the same energy to the table.
Yes.
And I think that's the reason why your business has exploded recently.
I think you're right. You've touched on it. It was the big shift for me was I got to a point in my career where I was so confident and comfortable with my skills in being able to provide the outcome that a client is looking for.
I get that. I fully get that. But do you feel that, people that wanting to start their own businesses should be more open to, I guess it's like dating, right? Like you should be open, like you have this whole idea of the person that you want to date and business. But I think, people should be more open to meeting that client that's completely outside of their realm.
Stretching your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because you might find something you really like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key to growing any business, but especially your business. And like you're always working, but you always love working. Like I see your update videos on Instagram.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always been happy doing what you do?
Yes, I have. I've only been happy doing what I do. I wasn't happy in previous jobs. I was working in health insurance before I did this. And
I did not know.
Yeah, I was on the phones and I worked in sales and then I worked in member services. So yeah, that was just such a draining job. I hated working for someone else. I hated needing to show up at a certain time every single day for someone else and make their company a lot of money, but I didn't get paid very much. So I just cut my losses, and my ex at the time, he said, you've got no kids, no mortgage, no debt, just do it. Just cut yourself off from this trajectory and just start your business. Just quit and go. Most people say you should keep your main job while you start up your business, but that's not what I did. I had 30K in savings and I just went, I can do this.
I sometimes think, I love that you had 30 grand to start, but I sometimes think people start businesses with too much money and too much comfort.
Do you think so?
Oh, 100%. Like they're too comfortable. So they start a business in their realm or whatever. And
their
because
passion. Yeah.
their passion. And because they've got too much money or too well of foundation to start with, they don't take risks.
That's such a good point. Because when you're comfortable, you don't have to.
No.
You don't have to push yourself.
And I think that's the biggest risk of all. Because if you don't take risks in business, and I'm not talking reckless risks. Have I taken reckless risks? Yes. I got myself in this shit 10 years ago because I was taking reckless risks. But as you know, I believe it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission sometimes. And I believe that this is why also a lot of people don't stick at working for themselves. It's too hard. I don't have enough this. It's because I truly believe it's because they've started off without taking enough risk, too much money, and then the bank account drains, nothing's working. Because you need a bit of luck.
Yes, I think you also need a little bit of willingness to work through your own blocks and limiting beliefs. I think that's also what people come up against. I think every single business owner, will come up against that, because every single person in life is going to come up against that.
Yes.
But if you're not willing to work through that, your business will fail. You have to work on yourself at the same time as working on your business so that your business can grow. Because if you're stuck in a limited belief or a limited vision of yourself, and you're not even aware of it, it's subconscious. You just believe that you're in your reality, you're this person, and this person only does fitness shoots, only makes up to 5K a month, only has a certain number of clients per month, and that's just what reality is. But if you're willing to work on your mentality and what you see for yourself and cut through those beliefs and just break them down, then you can make so much more money, you can do so much more, you can be whoever you want to be. But I think a lot of business owners stop themselves because they're not even aware that that's something they need to do.
Beautifully put. What are the pros and cons of you having a small business versus the business that you have now? Because there's got to, as you grow your business, you're always running this calculation in your head. Okay, I have this, but now I have to compromise this. And I'm not talking just financially. I'm, time with your family or time with your friends.
Yeah, I ran into that at the end of last year because my business grew so much in the last 6 months of last year. And I found that I was not taking any days off. I was just working all the time. So for me, the compromise is time while I was working out a new routine, new systems, new processes. I was very aware at the time that I was learning while I was stretching. I wasn't going to continue doing it that way, but I needed to do it that way in order to learn from it.
Yep.
So now I take Wednesdays and Sundays off, and now I've got a really strict schedule and really firm boundaries around that. And I'm much more efficient in the way that I work. I wake up earlier, I do the work I need to. I don't scroll, I just get the work done. So for me, the time was the biggest compromise.
Sounds like that's a learned behavior. You haven't always done it that way.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in taking Sundays. I love my Sundays.
You need a day off. You just need to be able to do your own thing for a day.
True.
It's very hard when you're a sole trader in particular.
It's hard when you're
I can only speak from sole trader, but it's very hard.
Business.
Yeah, because there's no one to tell you not to. It's up to you.
Aren't we our own worst enemies? And you can only connect the dots looking backwards, and hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I'm 46 next month.
No way.
Yeah, way. It's because I've been face moisturising since I was 24.
Oh, good.
Yeah. 2 things I did when I was 24. Got private health insurance, which I've kept to this day.
That's great.
Yeah, and started face moisturising.
Yeah.
And just,
keeps you young. Get on the vitamins, all of that.
Yeah, do all that, I can't use the couches because my hip blows up.
Oh.
James is side story, but James had this whole new vision for the podcast. We were going to do this couch chat, all this sort of stuff, and I just wailed the whole time.
Oh no.
I'm like, everyone, it's going to be so good to have the photos are good, and I'm just sitting there and my hip, I had a running injury 3 years ago. And
I can't run either. My knee just gives out.
Oh, okay. Side story. So I found out really bad way. I was running in Sydney, and there was a dip in the road.
Just like a fun run?
Yeah, I was dating someone at the time and trying to impress them.
That'll make you run.
Yeah. And it was literally like a Titanic moment. There was a little, like the pavement just had this little dip in it, and my hips did that. And unknown to me, the top, my ball joints are shaped like a 50-cent piece. Okay.
You're just born that way.
Born that way. So what happened is with that moment, top of my my socket in my hip, that locks into my hip, turned into an ice cream scoop with my cartilage, and basically ice cream scooped the cartilage out the back of my hip. So I'm like, just pulled a muscle, keep running.
Yeah.
About 2 minutes later, the entire side of my it blows up like a tire, and the blood was running behind the back of my skin. It was like really Salvador Dali, like artistic.
Did you call an ambulance or?
No, I just went to the chemist, got some painkillers.
You walked in with this and you're like, excuse me, do you have anything
and she looked at it and went, you need to go to the doctor. So then I flew back to Melbourne. Flying on it probably wasn't a great idea.
Yeah.
And went to the doctor and he says, you need to go see a physio. And I still see a physio to this day, but like,
you should.
Yeah, but unfortunately, James didn't know any of this. So when he had set the new podcast up,
got your nice low couch.
Yeah, it was amazing. One day I want to do this podcast standing. We'll get some standing desks or something.
Really exhausting.
You reckon?
Standing for like 2 hours?
No, what I was thinking is we've thought about this, like microphones, and we just go for
Ooh, walking.
Yeah.
Love a walk and talk.
I come up with a couple of things.
You could call the podcast Walk and Talk with Tav.
We could do a walk and talk with Tav. Yeah. We've been talking about doing driving in Tav as well, but we got to.
Ooh.
So you're like, I really enjoy this. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think I was going to be any good at podcasting. I still actually don't. To this day, I still think I'm not that good at podcasting.
You're great. You're a very curious person. You're a good question asker. I think that's what you need to be for a podcaster.
I hope so. And I enjoy this, and it has brought on a few more clients, and it's given me a platform to kind of meet new people. I've made a few mates through the podcast. I think that podcasting and my business was very intertwined. Mm-hmm. So TRS and the podcast now are two separate things that I do. Mm-hmm. And that took a little while to sort out. But the reason why I brought this up is when you're working with your client base, do you find that they're not really sure what they want from you?
This is yes and no.
Yeah.
Before I was very firm with my boundaries and the type of client that I took on, I would have people approach me and say, I don't really know what I want, but I've been told I need a branding shoot. And I used to take them on.
Yeah.
And it was so difficult for me to tell them what they wanted or draw it out of them because they didn't know themselves. Now, I don't accept anyone who doesn't know what they want. You have to come to me with, hey, I need photos for this. I'm redoing the website, or I need a rebrand, or I need to update my headshot. And you're clear on who you are and what your purpose is in business, so that I can then bring that out in the pictures. I can't bring it out if I don't know. I can't read their minds, and if they don't even know, then how am I supposed to know? So I used to take it on, and it would take a lot of time and energy, and they just wouldn't necessarily feel like they'd gotten the most out of their photo shoot because they hadn't put the most into planning it. So that's kind of it.
True.
I just kind of put it back on them a little bit. I'm the creative. I will do
you're
my
asking
job.
Adults to be adults?
Yeah. But if you want your photo taken, I need to know what you want the picture taken, because there's infinite ways I could take a picture,
What is the one thing that you're always surprised about the work that you do? As in feedback from clients, or the type of photo, or what's because your work is so energy and focus and positivity. What do you see coming out of your work with people that you work with?
I think nothing surprises me anymore. I think what I find interesting about working with all the different people that I work with is that everybody comes into a photo shoot a little bit nervous. Everybody says, you'll have to pose me. I don't know what I'm doing. And I think that's really beautiful that everybody understands that your little bit of nervousness heading into a photo shoot or a video shoot is very normal, and it's okay. And 2 minutes in, you'll forget about it. I put on music. I like ask people, what kind of music do you want to listen to? I set the scene. I get them just relaxed. We have a chat, and then we get into the studio and we start shooting. And I think, yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but I think it's really lovely that actually everybody does feel a little bit nervous because it's very human.
Yeah, so the sign of a good shoot is someone a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Someone a bit, same with the podcasting as well, actually. I've had a few guests that have surprised me how nervous they are. And we kind of have to have the rolling start. You know, we can't, other guests, where you just go, bang, everyone's good. We go, other guests, we kind of have to roll into it and roll out of it, and then we roll back up to the start line again, and we're off and racing.
I think it depends how many reps you have, you know. If somebody comes in and they've done, 5 different shoots already, and they are kind of experienced in what to expect and they're comfortable in themselves, then they're much quicker to get into their flow in front of the camera. And I think it would be the same with podcasts. If you haven't done many podcasts, I haven't done many podcasts. So for me, I was nervous coming in today.
Good. I'm glad you, but you're a very good podcast. You should do more. I think I've got this goal that I'm going to be doing my own podcast minimum.
But you've hit that goal. That's good.
No, and then obviously I want to go on someone else's podcast once a quarter.
Yeah.
I think podcasting is like gym work. You should do it.
Yeah.
Especially in the positions that we have. Because if we don't work, money doesn't come in. And I guess that's some of the pros and cons of growth in a business. You start employing people. And they do the work whilst you're not there, but then you have to manage that.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm in this place in thinking about changing my business name and thinking about restructuring things, thinking about registering as a company. I'm looking at taking those next steps, and in those next steps, it's like, am I going to hire other people to work with me?
I'll tell you a little side story. So when I started TRS, it was just me. It was a white desk in my apartment in Carlton.
How long did you do that for?
3 years.
Okay.
I had a 10-foot commute to work.
Ah, yes.
It was awesome.
As do I.
It was awesome. So good. When that changed is 2 things happened. I got an Amex card for the business.
Love an Amex card. Love my points.
When I get my dog, I'm going to call it Amex. Shout out to Amex. If you want to sponsor the podcast, you know where to find me.
Great.
And I got an office.
Where was it?
Little Collins Street, opposite Bank Lane there. It was actually the original stock exchange building. So you've got the Mitre Tavern, which allegedly is Melbourne's oldest building, but I think that's been debunked now. And then up there, and then had the office there. And it was great. High ceilings, and every room had its own safe because that's where they used to put the stock trades at the end of the day.
Wow, I love that piece of history.
Yeah, and we had that, and we got that in 2019-20. And then COVID hit. And then I had this, and I was like, shit, I'm going out of business. How
was COVID for your business, for recruiting?
First part of it, I lost 93% of my business in 10 days, and I thought I was going under.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, there was a few of us in that boat, actually.
Yeah. Because no one was hiring, right?
No one was hiring. Casuals was because I have a predominantly contract casual workforce. So no one was hiring. I had a couple of perms go through. I had enough money for 3.5, 4 months.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm done.
Right. So what happened?
Right. JobsKeeper came in and the lights got turned back on.
Wait, Centrelink came in?
Yeah, JobsKeeper.
JobsKeeper was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. I ended up getting a bunch of grants from Centrelink. I registered for GST, and then I just get $5,000 in my bank account, and I was like, oh, that's good. And then I got another $5,000. I ended up getting $25,000 just for registering for GST and applying for grants.
It was insane, but now we're on the back end of that.
Yeah.
Because every government around the world had their own incentive program. And
yeah, that's true.
Now we've got
inflation.
Love
free money, but then inflation and whatever.
Yeah, inflation, and then the back end of that. We're paying the debt down in Victoria to that as well. So I want to talk to you about your networking. You are a very strong networker. You're always at stuff, photographing. You're doing a lot of work to get that. But how has your network helped you grow your business, but also helped grow you?
For me, networking was something that I set as a goal for myself for 2025.
Yep.
It was very scary. I'm naturally an introvert, so going alone to events as a young woman who was very shy was very intimidating and very daunting. But I knew that if I really wanted to take those next steps in my business and in my personal growth, that's where they go hand in hand, because the more you evolve as a human being, the more your business can evolve. So I knew that I needed to do it, and I just said, you're going to be wasting time if you don't. You can either sit at home and miss the event, or you can go and see what happens. For anyone who's a little bit shy out there, I just see it as data collection. The first time I do something, I take myself out of it. I'm collecting data on what that experience is like, so that I know where I can improve on next time. I know if I like it or not, and I know what to expect for the next one. So for example, this is my first in-person podcast. So this is a little bit of data collection. I can see it that way to take myself out of it. I don't need to be nervous or scared. I can just go in with the perspective of like, okay, I'm collecting information on this experience and then going to take away and see what I can do with it next time.
I was getting nervous thinking about networking. That's what I was getting is because I'm tall, a little bit intimidating. I don't mean to be intimidating, but especially when
you're a bit of a gentle giant.
I am, but people think that I'm also a corporate debt collector.
Ooh.
That's happened a few times. I went to a client meeting once, walked in through the front door. This is when my suit days. And the lady looked at me and said, holy fuck, do we owe you money?
Well, see, this is why what you wear really affects your personal brand. Because if you walk in a suit and you're intimidating and maybe you're wearing the black sunnies and all that, they're going to say, ooh. But yeah, it's about like I said before, wearing what your client expects you to be in, what they want, what they're looking for, who they're looking for, and not doing that to change yourself, but just embody a different version of you.
As you've grown as a person, do you believe that has helped you increase your income? Because I remember us didn't you double your income by changing one small mind shift?
Yeah.
What was that mind shift?
Well, it was networking. That was like going back to networking. That was the biggest thing. That mind shift of sending myself to the networking events, of saying you need to expand your community, because your community is who is going to give you those referrals, who's going to understand you as a person, because people sell to people, people buy from people. So if you're showing up at networking events and you're showing up as a, whoever you are, for me, I try to be kind and poised and professional and conversationalist. And if somebody can connect with me as that version of me at a networking event, I'll be first on their mind when they are thinking I need a photographer or a videographer. So that's the beauty of it, is showing up as a human being before a business, them getting to know you as a human being, and then they already trust you. So for me, that was the biggest shift, was getting myself to those networking events so that I could grow my business. But it was that mindset shift of like, you can do this, just believe in yourself, just go do that data collection, whatever it is, so that you can give yourself more opportunity. And I did more than double my business. I was earning about $5,000 a month, and then I ended up with a $21,000 month, which was very exciting, far exceeded my goals.
Yeah. That one helps you sleep well at night as well.
Oh yeah, very reassuring. And a big part of that's getting retainer clients and long-term clients and building long-term relationships, and being able to grow with another business is really powerful.
You just said something that really resonated with me. And going back to what we were talking about before, it seems to be as you've become more sure of yourself, your brand, asking better questions, getting better answers, you've increased your income.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
With less effort?
Yeah, big time. Because I don't have to run around in circles looking for the answers.
Less frustration? Okay.
It's much smoother. I think having confidence and believing in yourself is one thing. People tell you to do that, but I think that really only comes with time and experience. So at this point in my career, it felt natural for me to be able to take that next step, and I just kind of switched into really trusting myself. I think it's trusting yourself to follow through and to do a good job.
How long is it taking you to work that out?
I think I started my business in 2017 when I left health insurance. No, 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. So 2017, I started to pick up my camera again.
Yep.
And
you had the idea.
Had the idea to do
Yep.
it. And then would just do a bunch of free photo shoots at that point because I was figuring out how to take good photos. I think when everyone's starting out as a photographer, you really need to be doing a lot of free photo shoots so that you can figure out not only how to take good photos, work with light, everything else, editing, but also the customer experience. You need to kind of work out your communication and your build confidence in that, because if you do that with a paying client and you get it wrong, that's not a good look and you won't be growing your business. You need to do it for free for a little while and then you can really build on that.
So what you're saying is you've got to build the runway. You've got to build your portfolio. You've got to build the foundation of your work.
Yeah, and the systems in your business as well. You can't just hit the ground running with this kind of thing, I don't think.
What sort of systems did you have to build?
It's the process of even from how you market yourself online to how you respond to a client DM, because I get most of my clients through Instagram.
Okay.
What that first DM looks like, if it's a voice note, if it's a quick response that takes them to emails, whatever that is, or a phone call. And then from there, the booking system, building a booking system. I use Calendly. It's much more straightforward, saves a lot of backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
I just send them the link and they book. Whereas before I had to work out, like, do they sign a contract? Do I send them an invoice? Do they bank transfer me? Do I take payments through Stripe? And just little things that I didn't know what to do.
Funny you should bring up payment. My business is business B2B. We don't have a retail consumer side to the business. I have always thought they just wanted bank transfer and that was it.
Yeah, why do businesses like bank transfer?
Because there's accountants calling out everyone's accountants and CFOs here like doing it that way.
Why don't they like just paying through a Stripe invoice?
Well,
this is new to me because I'm a small business and I don't.
No, you're not a small business.
I just don't really know.
I would say you're on the cusp of going leaving the hemisphere of small business and going into a medium business.
Yeah.
As you grow your business, so does your obligations. Different reporting structure for tax, different insurance requirements. Insurance is a big one. Okay. As you grow your business, you also remember need to pay yourself superannuation. That's really important.
Yeah.
Really important. And have the discipline of that. You need to be comfortable in borrowing money. I love people who say, I grew my business to this and I've never borrowed money. Man, I love that. But like,
love that.
Love that.
I've never borrowed money for my business.
Unfortunately, it's inevitable. I believe borrow money to grow because you start dealing with more corporate clients and they may not pay you on 7 days. They may pay you on 30 days.
See, I have very firm rules about this. I take full payment before I show up. So if you take 30 days to pay me, but the shoot's in 7 days, I'm not going to be there. So everyone is going to pay me before I show up. Whether your accountant or your finance team is too slow or whatever, you should have booked earlier. You have to pay me in full before I show up.
That's a good rule. Don't break that for anyone.
I'm not going to. It's been that way the whole time. I'm never chasing an invoice. You need to pay me before I deliver.
Where did you learn that from?
I just decided.
Yeah, it must have been a core value, core belief.
I think so. I've always been really good with money. I've always understood that savings, investments, etc., I want to be in control of it and I want to know what I'm doing with it. And for me, I think taking payment beforehand just saves me a lot of time and effort in chasing. I see other people chasing invoices and they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't want to run into that, so I'm not going to.
Don't change that, ever. James and I are like, man, that'd be nice. That'd be so nice. Your brand is very strong.
Thank you.
The way you film, the way you post, the way you edit your stuff, the clients that you work with. I find a lot of business owners very secretive of their clients. You're not.
Well, I can't be because my clients are my portfolio.
Yeah.
So I really need to talk about and share the work that I'm doing. I need to be very present with it too. I also find that for me and my business, it's really important for me to show up on my Instagram stories and in video reels and things like that, so that you can get to know me and my personality, how I speak, how I am, because that's a big part in selecting the right photographer, is feeling a connection to them. So that's really why I share so much about what I do, because if I didn't, you probably wouldn't choose me to take your picture.
What trends are you seeing in the industry at the moment? Because they're always changing.
I think in the industry of branding in general, in the industry of creating content for business, the trends that are coming up are really, for me, I'm noticing sharing a lot of educational content about what you do. It's talking about what you do in a very interesting little snippet. It's the humanness that is so important in getting to know the person behind the business. I think doing it with not just an iPhone now, I think the trend in doing that is setting up in a professional studio, having a professional shoot it for you, because anyone can do it with an iPhone. But your business and the way that I perceive your business, if you've shot your content in a professional setting with a professional, I look to you as, quite frankly, you have enough money to invest in your business, therefore your business must be doing well, therefore you must be a trusted business by other people. So I think it's all about your brand image and how I perceive your brand, and it's going back to, well, if other people trust them, then I'll trust them.
Talk to me more about trust. What's your definition of trust?
I think trust, safety is another word that kind of comes up in tandem with trust, because if you trust somebody, you feel safe with the outcome that they might provide for you.
I mean, what do you mean by that? Like safety, trust, and outcome. It seems to be a package. Is that a core value of yours?
Yeah.
And is that how you select your clients?
I think it's why they select me. The way that I select my clients is, like I said, if they're clear on where they're going, if they know what they need, and they trust me to have some sense of creative freedom to be able to do what I do best. I love it when somebody comes to me and says, here's my brief, here's the mood board, you do your thing. I love that.
That's rare?
Happens more often now, but yeah, it doesn't happen every time.
Everyone's got a fucking podcast now.
Yeah, it's true.
I had a podcast.
You had a podcast.
I did.
What was it about?
I wanted to be like the female Joe Rogan. I wanted to be
still
huge.
can be.
I can be. I don't know if that's my goal at the moment, but I really wanted to have those really big conversations about like the universe, aliens, spiritual beliefs, what people do for work and why, like that curiosity about humans was just taken from photography and put into another place. So I really enjoyed the podcast, but because I didn't make any money from it and I got busier with photography, I just let it go. It was called the Veness Show.
The Veness Show. I didn't even know. I don't make money out of podcasting. It would be nice. The way people digest content, consume content is changing. It all used to be about the subs, subscriptions, the likes. Now it's just about the engagement.
Yes.
And what your algorithm so I mean, you and I were obsessed with subscriptions for ages. It's now about engagement. And I find it fascinating what gets consumed on a regular basis. Random stuff. AI in accounting is still kicking off. My 30 seconds is a conversation I had with Simon Allsop about AI in accounting. The thing still kicks off to this day.
It's because AI is such a hot topic.
I don't
So
think people
many
understand
opinions on it. I think anything that is sharing an opinion on something, that's what goes viral, because someone's going to agree, but someone's going to disagree as well. I had one reel go viral one time. It's just my one time. And
We've all had a reel go viral.
yeah, just that one.
And if you
special
haven't,
reel.
your time will come.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
But it was me sharing just a quick little, like, what's the difference between a professional photographer and a hobbyist photographer? And I said that, in my opinion, it was when you know how to recreate an image that you just took. Because when you're a hobbyist, you'll take it and you go, oh, that was good. I have no idea how to recreate that lighting setup. I don't know what I did. But you're a professional when you see that, and you can see someone's mood board and you can create exactly that for them. Because you know by looking at it which direction the lighting was, what settings you need your camera on, what lens you need, what everything else. That's what sets you apart as a professional. So I posted that, and then a bunch of people were saying, like, no, you're only a professional when you're making money from it. And I was like, you can make money and be a terrible photographer and not know how to recreate a certain lighting setup. It's not when you're making money. It's when you can trust yourself to do the job right.
The trend seems to be education. Everyone wants to do it themselves. Everyone wants to have...
Yeah, well, people find it interesting. If you can take a little tidbit from something, that's really useful. Because people are scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, but if you can stop them with like a quick little, like, here's how you can improve this in your business, or here's how you can elevate your personal brand, here's how you can improve your business perception or whatever, online presence, and they're like, okay, I'll watch that. I'll take something from that. And then if they liked it, they'll follow you. Then they might buy from you.
Do you remember the first client you got from Instagram?
No, it was a really long time ago, and I've had so many clients from Instagram. I need to look into how many people I've actually shot with, because I think it's thousands by now, and that would be a really interesting number to know.
That moment that you, oh my God, I've got something here.
Oh, I've caught a fish.
I've caught a fish.
Someone on the line.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah.
It was scary. I remember the feeling. I don't remember the exact moment,
Yeah.
but I remember that feeling of like, I need to handle this right because they're willing to give me their money. They're willing to give me $50 because my prices were $50 when I started.
Game on.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, they're willing to give me their money to do my job. I'm so scared. And then it was about getting reps in from there.
I'm always scared that my client base is going to go away tomorrow. It's just, it's a fear I have had in me from I've been in business for myself 14 years, something like that. When I start, July 2013 is when I started in Australia. And I started my own thing. Okay. First business I started, I was 28, so that was 2008, just before the GFC in London. And then
London?
Yeah, I lived in London 7 years.
We've both had a stint overseas.
Yeah, I've had this whole, people are amazed when I tell them, like, you know, they think they only know me in this setting.
But you do have a bit of an English accent.
Yeah, it's because I'm from Adelaide.
Really?
Yeah, so us people from
thing?
Adelaide, we're accused of being more British than Britain.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. One of my girlfriends from Sydney has a really strong English accent to the point where I asked her, when did she come to Australia?
Oh, I get that.
And she was like, when I was born, what do you mean?
I get that. When I came back in 2009,
Yeah.
a lot of people thought I was British.
Yeah.
Just the way it's ringing. And I've never had a strong Australian accent.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like you have all these odysseys, right? Like you only know me from my Melbourne odyssey, but you know, I've had a Perth odyssey and I've had a London odyssey.
Yes, this is why you can't underestimate anyone. No. That's my rule for this year, is don't underestimate anyone, because you never know where they've been, who they really are, and you know what they're going through. That's a big thing too, but who they're connected to as well. So you have to be kind and be good to everyone. Even, I mean, if they're really shit to you, then like, you know, give them the flick.
No.
But
Okay, I used to be like that, but fuck them.
yeah.
Fuck them. They fuck you. Like, seriously, if some people just fuck them.
Well, be kind until.
No, fuck them.
Oh, just straight from the, hey, I'm Emma.
Yeah, hi, fuck, we're just not going to be friends. Listen, there are people that I have gone into a networking thing and I give them the benefit of the doubt, but that fucking little voice in my head just goes, nah.
Yeah, that's intuition. It's energy. It's a big thing.
No.
I'm actually really big on that. I agree with you on that.
Fuck you. You shall not pass. Like, this is like...
This is a sacred space. You may not enter.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it's really easy for me to say this now, you know, older and wiser and, you know, you become wise and you be able to dish out wisdom by making a lot of fucking mistakes and, you know, allowing people in my life that were not good for my bandwidth and, you know, supplying clients that I shouldn't have been supplying, but I needed to feed the machine. I had staff, and that's one of the things about the pros and cons of growing your business. You will have to take on work that will pay the bills. But you don't really, I get it all the time. My recruiters will go, I don't really like working with him. But my little voice is, he pays his invoices on time. Like,
yeah, like he pays.
He paid. But, you know, and then a couple of times I've had to go, inappropriate behavior.
There are lines for sure.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? Or inappropriate things have said. You know, old business Tav of fucking 10 plus years ago would have tolerated that shit. Or, you know, but now it's, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly believe there is an infinite amount of business out there.
Yeah.
And one client.
How many people are there in Melbourne alone, you know?
Well, there's a lot of people moving to Melbourne as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to leave. I want to go to Gold Coast.
You go to GC.
Yeah.
I see you burly heads.
Yeah. I like the sunshine. I like that lifestyle. But
Queensland.
Yeah.
I don't know what your fiance would say about that.
He's got a very good job here and a very good contract. So we're working on him being able to work from home so we can do that.
One of the things I like about being on the east coast of Australia versus being from, you know, when I left Adelaide when I was 15 and my 20-year odyssey in WA is everything's really close here.
Yeah.
You can just get on a plane and go to the GC.
Yeah.
When I was in Perth, going to the GC is an all-day event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been to Perth. It's too far away.
You should go.
Yeah?
Oh, 100%. And it's a bit warm now, as our mutual friend Mel's just found out.
Yeah. She's on the beach the whole time, lucky girl.
She'll burn, trust me. I came back with a week in Perth and I forget this, but because my arm's out the window, this side of me is all tan.
You get just like a real tan arm.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
Isn't that like a truck driver tan?
Yeah, exactly. But why is this all peeling? But the point
What's wrong with me?
Yeah. The point I'm trying to make is that, you know, as you grow your business, so does your experience level and your wisdom. And, I won't do that again. And, you know.
Data collection.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people, especially in the photography media space, just get very comfortable with one set of clients and they kind of hit a ceiling. Like, it's nothing wrong with that demographic, but that demographic is only going to need one type of product, and that product has a price.
Yeah, that's why I had to open up my niche.
When did you realize that?
I realized it when I probably start of last year. I really felt a little bit, honestly, bored recreating the same thing. For every client. They all wanted the same mood board. They all wanted what the other fitness girls had. And I was like, this is great, but I need to stretch my creative brain. I need to do something a little bit different. And so I was like, I really want to shoot with men again. Like, I hadn't shot with men in years because I'd done empowerment photography, then women's fitness photography. And then I was like, I just want to work with everyone now. And Well, that's 50% of the market as well. So that's double my income just by
straight at that.
Working with the other gender. So it was like, okay, I want to work with men. And then it was like, I actually really enjoy the few shoots that I do for other businesses. Like I was still working with beauty clinics and business coaches and whatever else, as well as fitness, but it was mainly fitness. And I just said, it sort of started last year, I was like, I'm just going to open it up and market everything, show off some of my old work that I used to do, and just get out of my comfort zone a little bit creatively and just show myself that I can do it. And that's when that level of confidence and self-trust came in, because I knew that I could recreate those works, or I could do something different. I could, just shooting on site, not just shooting in my studio, getting out there, doing construction photography and videography was way out of my realm of consideration until the inquiry came in. And I thought, I'll give that a go. Turns out it's one of my favorite types of industries to shoot in.
I've taken a leaf out of your book recently. I've gone the other way. So obviously I built a massive LinkedIn platform. That Recruiter, I call it my social media.
Very important platform for you to be on.
Very important platform. It's my social media drug of choice.
Hits the spot.
I'm on it. I'm probably on it. I don't even want to know how many hours a week I'm on LinkedIn, but like.
Oh, you could check your screen time.
I don't want to check my screen time. But I'm always running 2 screens. It's in the background.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. It's so like, I don't have to think about it. It's just an extension of me. Oh, okay. I need to, I'm posting to LinkedIn without even.
How many times a day do you post to LinkedIn?
I post probably once a day, but I've decided to increase that to 2 times a day now.
That's a good idea. I like that. What do you post? Photos,
blogs, reshares.
Thoughts?
I thought LinkedIn for me was all business. So it was employee stuff, employment, client stuff, photos, site visits, thoughts on the market.
Feels a bit generic until you put your little bit of zest into it, your personal brand.
Exactly. And this is when I started posting a bit more of my car content, a couple of other car brands, more stuff. Okay. We talk about lanes and stuff like, stuff that I would put on LinkedIn, I wouldn't put on Instagram.
Okay, that's interesting.
Stuff I put on Instagram, I wouldn't put on LinkedIn because...
Is your audience different? Is that why?
No, I'm different.
Why are you being a different person on different platforms?
Well, there's Tavis Shearer, Managing Director, TRS Resourcing.
The professional tab.
The professional tab.
With your professional hat on.
With my professional hat on, right? Yeah. And speaking of, it's, and there's that. And then there's personal tab.
Yeah.
There's, Tavlane, my Instagram. And it was all very... I have strong boundaries around it. Like I don't follow clients or employees.
No, okay, I think that's a healthy boundary. Yeah.
LinkedIn, fine, great. That's what that's for, right?
Because you're networking.
It's my networking. It's
the online networking.
And I'm also I'm also as a business owner very aware of not having friendships with people I work with.
That's
outside.
a hard one for me.
Oh, it is. It would be hard, especially your business.
It's personal for me.
It's personal, but I'm very, do we do, sunset? Absolutely. I'd speak to my staff on weekends when they need to, but at the end of the day, I'm always there. I draw a line with that. But what I took out of your book was I need to start with my personal brand putting some of that stuff on LinkedIn, but also then starting to put some of my LinkedIn stuff in Instagram and starting a TikTok.
Oh, are you on TikTok now?
I am on TikTok.
Wow.
Tav Talks Recruitment is on TikTok.
Very good.
And weirdly, we had our first viral short for the Christmas special. It just clicked under 10 million views.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, it was good. It went nuts.
What was the topic?
Christmas special this year.
What was the viral aspect of it? I'm always curious about what made something go viral.
We had a bunch of different things, but it was like asking these different business leaders all these questions around like, what were your biggest challenges of the year? What was the worst advice you ever got? We had Jimmy Starbucks telling a story where someone didn't pay him like 300 grand for like a year or something like that.
Oh, that's hectic. Okay.
Yeah, fun.
See, that's like a bit controversial, a bit like I think things that go viral are that like opinionated kind of content.
It was a bit like that. And the Christmas special, I came up with this. Have you ever seen Hollywood Reporter? No. Oh, you would have seen their shorts. So, they get actors around a round table. And
Yes, I have seen that.
yeah. And then there's the Robert De Niro one that went absolutely, be calm, believe this. And then that was a whole, and they've cut that up so many ways, that whole thing. So I came to James a couple of years ago and, being a car guy, I've always watched the Grand Tour and the Top Gear Christmas special. And I went, why don't we do a Christmas special?
I love a Christmas special. I love Christmas and I love something a little different to finish the year.
Yeah, and that's what we end the year on. Like we shoot it in November. It takes 6 months to put together because everyone's like we've got a hard filming date, which is always the last Friday of November.
Yeah,
like it does not move. So you need to start talking to people in June about this and
need to plan ahead. Love planning ahead.
Need to plan ahead and like that sort of content. And it takes. And this, I guess, is why I've taken this year about. I've always been very serious about my podcast, but actually being more present, structured, because walking away from my baby at TRS Resourcing is hard. Like, we talk about your Instagram. That's what TRS is to me. Like, I know when I turn that phone back on, it's going to be 100. That's why, like, we've had podcasts where. Like James has literally had to stop because everything's just blowing up. So this is why we've had to learn how to go stealth dark with this. So we can just focus on this.
Yeah.
But like, I think why people need someone like yourself is because their identities, especially with a business owner, is so wrapped up in their business. They're trying to focus on running their business, not necessarily how they look, act. And I think that's why you're so good at what you do is you bring out a certain side of them and you try to bring in, because us business owners, we're petrified.
Do you know what that is though?
What?
It's just making you feel comfortable. That's how I bring that out.
I think you go deeper than that. I think you help turn people's little voice off. Like comfortable is one thing.
Yeah.
But actually being relaxed
and
not this thing screaming at you 24/7 about
presence
and this deal and that deal. And
no, but I think help them gain presence in the moment.
Yeah.
And just switch it off.
My justification to myself about not to do any of this, and James had to like really work with me on this, was my business will collapse if I'm not there. This is the thought process I have in my head.
I think every business owner has that thought process.
I don't have time. I don't even, that's...
I don't have time to live.
I don't have time. Yeah, but they don't look at it like that. Yeah. It's like they don't have the time. They don't have the want. But they also have, because they're getting so much validation from their business, whether they like it or not. Oh my God, I'm miserable in my business. Yes, but it's you. Yeah. It's what you do. And you come along, hey, what's going on? Let's do a photo. I don't have time for a photo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fine. Take the photo. Bang. Well, we'll just use AI.
Yeah.
And I think this is why AI photos have exploded, because people don't have the time. They don't think they're great in front of a camera. But I think it's just you haven't found the right person to take your photo.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing. Yeah. And you also just haven't really understood what's involved. Like it's really not as much of a big deal as you think it is having your picture taken.
No, to you it's not.
Yeah.
But
from the other side, I can see that. Even when I have my picture taken by another photographer, I get a little bit nervous first. But as somebody who's done thousands of photo shoots for other people, and I've had many photo shoots for myself as well.
I was about to say, I don't think you could take your own photos, but
yeah, it's better when someone else does it.
Oh yeah, but it's like a hairdresser that cuts their own hair.
Yeah. Well, you can get better angles if someone else is doing it, that's for sure. That's
exactly right. You can get better angles, but also different photographers take different photos.
Yeah, yeah. So you choose the photographer who you look at their work, for one, you look at their portfolio, you look at the work that they've done that's similar to what you're looking for, and if you like the way that they've taken that picture, if you like the way it looks, the edit on it, the composition, the way you feel when you're looking at that photo, then that's how you know that's the right photographer. If you feel like something's a bit off, that's just showing you that perhaps that's not the person for you. Speaking of taking my own photos, a little bit of a red flag if you are looking for a photographer. You're scrolling on their website and you're looking at their portfolio. You're like, yes, this is pretty good. But then you go to their About Me page and they have an iPhone selfie on their About Me page. That looks incredibly unprofessional. If you're a photographer, you have to invest in having someone else take your photo. Because if a photographer doesn't walk the walk and have their own picture taken, how are they going to guide you through the process? I think that's such a red flag if they don't have a professional photo of themselves.
What other red flags should we look for when we're looking for a photographer or a media person?
Well, I think another red flag that comes to mind is if they say something like you can't bring a friend along or you can't bring a support person or whatever. I know that's probably not what you were thinking I was going to say. But
No, I didn't, but you've set off alarm bells on my head.
Yeah, because I think when I really love when somebody asks me if they can bring someone, I'm always going to say yes. But sometimes they just want their assistant to be there. So their assistant can take some BTS on the phone or whatever for Instagram, show what they got up to today. Sometimes it's a young woman who wants to bring her mum.
I think that's really important. I mean, we've had a few guests on that they've bought their media team. We have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Especially certain type of guests, they see the value.
Yeah.
And I guess from that point of view, you have to ask yourself, how long has this photographer actually been in the business for?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they I think what makes people really good at what they do is they understand their client side of the equation.
Yeah, I understand why you're asking.
Yeah.
Whether it's for your comfort, for whatever, or if it's for someone from your team to be there to help make sure it runs smoothly, help make sure you tick all the boxes. They've got the shot list. They're making sure we stay on track. I mean, I do that as well, but it's nice for them to have that person there too.
The way that we as you see, we onboard guests here on the podcast. That's something that James and I have learned. I mean, James doesn't just do this podcast, but like you understand true professionals by the questions that they ask you that you haven't even thought of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, I haven't thought of that. Do I want to bring someone? Yeah, I think I do. Or do you know, like, I want this style, but then you add something in there and go, well, but I guess it gets back to trends and, it's about becoming a true, is artist the right word with what you do, a true artist in?
Very much.
Very much. Where do you see the industry going? Like, I think it's now every person, this is my own personal views and people can disagree with me all the time. You need LinkedIn, professional photos, and you need to have a presence online.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially as an owner of a business or self-employed, because people are looking for trust points, safety, as you bring up. People can think I'm crazy when I say, I've got a bad review. And we get bad reviews at the company. And I reply to them. Why are you replying to them? Because I want to demonstrate to the market that I'm not afraid of a bad
It's very
review.
important that you reply to a bad review as well, I think.
You look at companies that don't. Like,
I just think it shows that you care.
it shows that you're being real.
Yeah, that's what I mean by care.
Yeah. And I say real, you say care, I say trust, you say safety. We're talking about the same things here. What's next for your business?
What's next for my business?
Or you next? Like I've known you for about a year now.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah. And I've seen you go strength to strength.
Yeah. Last year was a good year to know me because I really did. I just didn't hold back. I just went, what do I want to achieve?
What changed in you to not hold you back?
I think it was that mindset shift at the start of the year. It was like, it's now or never. Really, time's going to go by no matter what. So whether you're sitting there playing small, doing the same thing that you've always done and not really getting anywhere, time's going to go past. But time will also go past if you step out of your comfort zone, do something a little bit scary and expand your skill level, your knowledge, your network, keep growing. That's what we're here to do as human beings. I think we're here to experience the human experience, I think we're like aspects of the universe coming together in a bunch of cells and with consciousness to explore what there is to explore. And I think we're doing ourselves and our life force a disservice by playing small. But it was me gaining the confidence to leave that version of me behind and step into something else that created the year that I had. And thinking now, what do I want to do for 2026? It's actually hard for me at the moment to pinpoint, like a big goal for the year, because I've been able to achieve everything that I set my mind to last year. I didn't not receive anything. I was able to go above and beyond for every goal that I set. So now I kind of have to expand my mind, meet new people and learn from them in order to see what's possible for myself now.
Is that usual for you not to go into a goal for a year? Or?
I've always set goals for the year, and I do have some. I wanted to ride on a yacht this year. I've just been invited on a yacht, so that's great. And then,
Come on.
yeah,
Good boat party.
yeah, 2 days after I said I wanted to be on a yacht, I got an invite, so that was great. The next thing that I would like to set a goal for or manifest for the year is to be flown overseas, and I imagine that's going to be in countryside Spain or something, shooting for Porsche or a luxury car brand and taking beautiful photos and being flown over there for it.
I think that's a great goal. I've not seen you do much car work. Actually,
I haven't done any.
I was about to say you've not done car work.
I had a friend who owned, I have a friend, she's still my very good friend. She owned a Mustang at one point, which I know you're going to froth over. And you probably saw the pictures I took of her with her car in autumn one year.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was the only time I shot cars, and I actually really, really loved it.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'd love to be doing some more car work. And there's some things in the pipeline for this year as well already, drive days, etc., where I'll be shooting. But I'd love to take that to the next level.
Okay. Well, I will see if I can help you with that.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
As we evolve through this podcast and chat today,
Yeah.
you mentioned manifesting. How important is that to you?
It's everything. Manifesting, you can say that it's goal setting and then taking action towards your goals, but I firmly believe that we're working with the universe. In setting those goals, I think you ask for it, and then the universe works with you to make sure that happens. And I think one step above manifesting is the idea of self-concept. So this is where you accept nothing else but the reality that you want to be in. So it's not even manifesting certain things. It's like, of course, I'm going to be flown to countryside Spain to shoot for Porsche because I'm the person who gets that. It's like I don't accept any other reality outside of the reality where I go do that. And since I started to embody that kind of mindset and those expectations of the world around me, I get everything that I ask for.
What unexpected result has come from manifesting? I get the tip, and like, okay, I've got that, but unexpected.
Unexpected was being flown in a private jet at the end of the year. That was such a great way to finish the year.
It was fun. That actually did look fun.
It was really fun. It was really fun and so comfortable. I could definitely see that happening again. But what I was manifesting was that somebody would fly me business class for something by the end of the year. In October, I said that, something like that. And then Mel reached out and she said, hey, can you shoot my retreat for the Jet Mastermind? And I ended up flying on the private jet, being paid to fly private. That was an unexpected outcome. It was like I asked for one thing and the universe said, you know what, you've done really well this year. Let's just take it up a notch.
I agree with that. I actually think, I'm a believer of shoot for the stars, but if you land on the moon, you're still on the moon.
Well, you can bounce off the moon off to Mercury or wherever.
When you're dealing with your clients, right, and they're not all as positive as you, do you find those sort of shoots, those sort of environments difficult to work in because the client, you're there, it's good, photos are good, but you're not getting out of the photos what their potential of. And so I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like you feel that this person can do this type of shoot this way and this, and I've got this, we've got the vision, but their practicality of what we're actually getting is not there. How do you, so what I'm asking is, how do you manage client expectation when like we want to go one way, vision board, manifesting, this is what I've always wanted my whole life.
Yeah.
But you go, we ain't going to get that shot today, or it's just not working.
Well, so this is why they need to send me a mood board at least a week in advance before the photo shoot, so that there's time to reschedule if we need to reevaluate the plan. But when somebody books with me, I usually email them straight away. If they've booked without having a conversation with me first, I'll email them, send me a mood board, let's chat about what your expectations are. Because it's really important that they show me what they're thinking, and then I can go back to them with, here's examples of my work where I've created something similar to that. We can take it in this direction or this direction. And then I help educate them on, for example, the wardrobe that you wear, the outfits that you wear are going to make a really big difference in either achieving that vision or not. The location we shoot in, the way that you have your hair and your makeup done if you're a woman, etc. Because if you have a mood board, but then you show up with completely different outfits, you want to shoot in a completely different location and you look nothing like the model in the mood board, your photos are not going to look like the inspiration photos. Yep. And I think a lot of people get really confused there. They expect to look like that, but it's like you expect to have a chocolate cake, but you've put like different ingredients in there.
Yep.
So you won't get a chocolate cake. You're going to have a pizza instead.
How do you go about working with your clients when they want to go this direction, but you know we should be going this way?
I like to suggest, I'll say, your ideas are really great. I love where you're going with this. I think if we want to take it up a notch and do something that perhaps your competition haven't considered yet, I would recommend taking it in this direction, and then I show them. But it's always up to them to choose, but I educate them on what the better option might be for them. But it doesn't happen very often. Often people do come with an idea of how they can be unique.
Yep.
And I think that's where I can, if someone, sort of has a bit more of a generic idea of what to do, I do encourage them to take that next step to do something a little bit different.
Because I could imagine you with your construction clients having a few artistic differences on what they're prepared to do, what you would like.
But this is great. My construction clients are really like, they just give me creative freedom. They're like, we chose you because you have a different eye to the other construction photographers and videographers. Other people who work in that industry or capture that industry will see it very matter-of-factly. They'll say, this is the site, this is the picture, done. Whereas me, because I have that passion and curiosity for humans, I have a very much more of a human approach. And that's how one of my clients describes me. And he said, that's why I booked you over the guy that we were working with before. We wanted you because you have a human touch. So when I create video content for them, it's nothing like what the guy previously was doing. I ask them questions. I interview the staff. I ask them what their everyday looks like, why they got into the industry, and where they see themselves going. But even that's kind of generic. I sometimes ask them, like, what's the funniest thing you've learnt on site? Or like, what's your favorite piece of equipment and why? And then the audience can kind of understand who's actually going to be completing the job for them, and brings that human element in and that sense of trust, because they're like, oh yeah, I really like that team. I'd really like to have that team on site.
You've cemented something in what you've just said before that really resonated with me about using brand, like your photos as a brand, but as a business development tool, but also demonstrating a side to the business that could actually bring in new business for you.
That's what it's all about.
What should people, like, I know that we keep saying this, people need to do more of this, but they don't. And it's important to their business. But then they go, why is it important to my business? Like, I haven't got time. I'm focused on this. But what are you starting to see with these media trends? Because I think we're evolving from social media now. I think we're going to drop social and it's just going to be media or branding. I don't know. I just feel like we're in this evolution of, we're all becoming... What are you seeing with your clients, like, doing with their businesses since they're engaging with you? Clients are, okay, yeah, we need to do this. Okay, we'll just take some photos and, go from there. But as you do this more, are they engaging differently with you? Are they now coming up with their own ideas? Are they starting to come out of their
they're coming out of their shell and they're finding their voice as well. They're finding their authority in their industry. They're finding that they're able to, and I think this is kind of also the reason why you have your podcast as well, is because it provides credibility for your brand and for your company. And so I think a lot of my clients are now using social media not with the intention of specifically getting like 10 bookings or 10 sales or 100 sales from that one reel that we're posting. It's more about building that credibility so that you are the top of mind when someone is looking for an electrician next or a beauty service next or a fitness coach.
I get, and funny enough,
and that, I will also say, is why you shouldn't be using AI to generate your images and say that you did a certain thing. So like, for example, like I wouldn't generate an image of me on a private jet and post it and say that I was on a private jet if I wasn't, because that totally sweeps the rug out from under your feet and takes away your credibility. So you need to be kind of, you know, walking the talk.
I'm sure they exist in Australia,
Yeah.
but I've seen these pictures on Instagram of media suites being built to appear to be private jets.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm sure they exist here. Like,
Or it's like those influencers who went and shot on that private jet that was like on the ground. Like, you know, those
they do that all the time.
They're just like, yeah, I'm on a private jet. I'm flying private, blah, blah, blah. But like, not to hold on to the private jet idea, but just like, I think that's why you shouldn't be using AI, because you have to actually prove that you did the thing in order to have the credibility on your brand.
I know a few people that have private jets or access to private jets and they ain't posting.
No, that's the thing, yeah. If you really have a private jet, you're just like, it's casual. You're like, I'm just flying from A to B. It's not a big deal.
And, you know, I see it in the car community all the time. I have a couple of friends that do have car collections, and I've been there and like it's your privacy is the new wealth, right? But what I mean by that, but we're talking about what you do, which is different. I think people's credibility in what they do is very important, but people are starting to become very private about what they do. But you kind of see these credible things where people are shooting on a private jet that isn't really a private jet, or they've like, the biggest one is, this one drives me insane. Like influencer will go to Dutton's, or they'll go to Lorbeck or Ferrari or Lambo, and they'll post next to the car like it's their car.
I know. But like, it shows, see, I understand why they're doing that, because they're visually building the way that other people perceive their brand. They want people to perceive their brand as a luxury brand. Therefore, they go and they pose in luxury situations, whether that's their car or not. It just shows that in your casual lifestyle, you're in and around these places. So I see why they're doing it. And I think in the right place, it's good.
Yeah.
But if you're saying like, this is my car in the caption, well, then you're lying.
I'll tell you, I'm all for manifesting and, you know, not fake it before you make it, but like, you know, striving for that thing. When in my past recruitment life, I had a company that didn't work out, and I was still flying between here and Perth to sort it out. And yeah, a big thing I did is I was sitting in economy wanting to get back into the front end of the plane. And that's really important. But someone watching this and, you know, what's something that someone could do in order to have a good photo shoot? Like they were like, I want to come and work with Emma. I've just watched her on Tavis podcast. She's great. What do I need to do, like, in order to prepare to get the maximum out of the session they're going to have with you?
Yeah, and that's what I want. I want them to be prepared.
Yep.
And the best way to prepare for your photo or video shoot, whether it's on site or in the studio, is to think about where you're going to be putting those photos. What's the purpose of the photo shoot? And you need to tell me that so that I can curate content for you that suits the place that you're going to be using it. So it might be a printed work for a banner for your market stall or for an event that you're running, for example. So I'm going to be shooting a certain style of image to suit that purpose. So plan where you're going to use the photos, what do we need them for, and then secondly, put together a mood board. I'm obviously a visual person, so I need to see the vision. I need to see something similar to what you're looking for so that I can then take it and make it yours. And then start thinking about your wardrobe, put together outfits that really say that elevated next level version of who you are and who you're stepping into, and make sure that they kind of align with the vision and align with your brand, but they also align with what your audience wants to see from you. So I think, yeah, it's putting in place a little bit of planning, even put together a bit of a shot list. Don't ask ChatGPT. If you need help, ask me. And then we'll put together things together for the photo shoot so that you get the most out of it. And we are organised on the day, because I can take creative control, but it may not be what you had in mind, because people always book with something in mind. They don't just have a blank brain, a black space where they book in and say, you do what you do best.
You'd
you
love
know?
working with me, because that's exactly what I do.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, you do your thing. But do you have something in mind of what you expect? I feel like there's always something in the back of your mind, and I'd love to see what that is before we get started, because then I can meet your expectations, because I don't believe that no one has expectations, even if they think they don't.
How do people find you?
On Instagram at emmaveness.photography. For now, until I change the name.
What are you changing the name to?
I'm considering a couple of different options.
Yeah, I know you are. That's why so maybe we're not quite ready to talk about
We
it.
can talk about it. I've got a couple ideas in mind, and I think speaking about them helps me determine what I'm going to land on. I like the idea of media instead of photography, because I do different forms of media. I like the idea of Veness media, and when I get married, then I'll still be able to have my maiden name in my brand, which feels nice.
Yeah, and I think that's a good boundary as well.
Yeah. But then I still feel like that's still too small, because my name's still in it. So for me, I have a dragon tattoo, I have a dragon spirit guide, and I love the idea of dragon media. I feel like that feels stronger. It feels really powerful. It needs a little explanation, however. I also like divine media, because it feels feminine and lovely, but then I don't know if that really applies to corporate clients.
I'll give you some advice that my mentor, who unfortunately is no longer with us, gave me when it comes to naming your business. It's just a name.
Yeah.
Don't get too hung up on it.
Okay, dragon media it is.
We can change. You can do it. It's just a name.
Yeah.
It's just a name. And I think, and and it took a little while for that to hit. Like you get so like, oh my God, it's my business. You know, it's the name. I have to get the perfect logo and the feel. Marketing.
It does, yeah.
And you could be really hard to SEO the crap out of it.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think of SEO.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about like what looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Veness media is perfect.
Yeah, do you think?
And I'll tell you why. As you're getting married, you've got a new name, new life, new chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. But then, as I said, boundaries, we've discussed boundaries today. You've always got that, which is you before you were married.
Yeah, I really like that. I think my dad would be happy with that too.
Your dad would be happy. And if you wanted to, you could do, this is just like you could do different media packages and call them different things, like Dragon Media, like your Dragon Media package and your Divine package and your,
could do that.
Whatever. And then, you want the Dragon Media package. Okay, what does that include?
That's the full day,
That's the full day. This is that.
Gallery,
this is, cool. Yeah. And then we can add on some other things as well. That's how I would think about, because I'm always thinking, I don't think you're going to get the URL Dragon Media.
Yeah, true.
It'll have to be Dragon Media Vehicle, Dragon Media. Like, I think Veness Media, it
needs to be clean.
It's clean. Like, when you're talking about URLs, right? We were all going to go to .au, right? Oh my God, the dramas I had to do to get an AU. Like, like you got to like anything .com.au, you have to be registered to an ABN.
Yeah. I don't have .au on mine. Actually, when I registered my web address, I forgot to put in www.
No, that's fine.
So it's just emmaveness.com.
You know, but
Then that also takes you there. I don't understand how this stuff works. It just doesn't have a www.
I think what we're trying to say on this podcast today is you don't need to know everything.
Yeah.
You don't need
Business is figuring it out as you go.
Exactly, but you need to start.
Yeah.
So you go, yes, it's great to get a client that gives you the vision board and gives you this, blah, 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 but also other clients that thing. But, it gets back to you opening up your client base. By not just doing fitness, by not just doing wellness, energy, you're now doing construction. I'm sure you're
every kind of business,
because your skill set is so strong and your brand and what you bring to the market is so focused that it doesn't actually matter who you're working with. It's just you ask better questions, get better answers, but you do that from time. As we're winding this down, what's the one thing that you want the market to know you for with your product?
I want them to know me for my professionalism and for my ability to tell stories with my work. I think that's what's really important when it comes to looking for a photographer and videographer.
What do you mean by stories?
Well, I think if your content isn't saying anything at all, then you shouldn't be posting it. You need to have some kind of purpose behind it. And if I can help you share that story, whatever that is for your brand, whatever message you want to share, whether it's educational content or a personal story or whatever it is, or information about your product or service, that's what I do. I can tell the story of that. I can make it interesting and I can get people to watch it and trust you through that.
Are you always surprised by people's reactions once you've finished the product?
No. I know that they're going to love it.
I love that.
I used to be really anxious heading into photo shoots and leaving photo shoots, providing the gallery, all of that. But it was, again, when that confidence kicked in and I could just trust that I know how to do the job. And I also know that I really like the work that I'm producing. I'm really proud of it. So when I do send it off, I know that they're going to be happy with it.
Well, that's why you're so good at what you do. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed having you on today.
I've loved being here today. I always love having a chat with you.
We have a chat all the time. We've just got cameras here in James today. So, thank you for coming on today. And I truly wish you all the best with Veness Media.
Thank you. We'll see.
Maybe. See what happens.
Thank you for having me, Tav.
You're very welcome. Thank you.